This is Guru Focus Market Today, your afternoon market brief for Monday, July 13th. Here's where things stand. Oil prices surged as tensions between the United States and Iran intensified, raising inflation concerns and complicating the Federal Reserve's policy outlook. The collapse of the U.S.-Iran ceasefire has also shifted market focus to China's independent refineries, which are now seen as key players in determining the direction of global oil prices. Turning now to the technology sector. Apple has filed a lawsuit against OpenAI, alleging misappropriation of trade secrets. This legal action comes as tensions between artificial intelligence companies and major technology firms continue to escalate. Another story we're watching is the upcoming earnings reports from major U.S. banks. JP Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America are expected to report robust revenue, driven by the recent SpaceX IPO and heightened market volatility stemming from the Iran conflict. Analyst estimates for JP Chase project earnings per share of $5.71, with revenue of $50,194 million. Bank of America is projected to report earnings per share of $1.13 on revenue of $30,746 million, while Goldman Sachs is expected to post earnings per share of $14.40 and revenue of $16,125 million.
Meanwhile, Volkswagen has confirmed plans to cut up to 100,000 jobs worldwide as part of a major restructuring effort. The company stated that it will not close any plants as part of these workforce reductions. On the economic front, Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller has signaled that further interest rate hikes remain possible if inflation data comes in hotter than expected. Recent analysis indicates that inflation pressures in the United States are likely to persist, even as June figures are expected to show some moderation in price growth.
Also making news today, Meta Platforms announced that its total investment in a Louisiana data center will reach $50 billion, supported by substantial tax incentives and an expansion of AI infrastructure. At the same time, Meta's AI-powered advertising tools are facing mounting criticism from brands over performance issues and inaccuracies. Turning to the semiconductor industry, chipmakers such as NVIDIA and Micron are expected to generate significant cash flow amid robust demand for artificial intelligence and data center chips. Elsewhere, U.S. regulators have issued new guidance urging banks to assess credit risks associated with lending to immigrants without work authorization, tightening scrutiny on this segment of bank lending.
This next story is about Chipotle Mexican Grill, which announced the opening of its first restaurant in Mexico. This marks a significant step in the company's international expansion strategy. In corporate leadership, Brown-Forman CEO Lawson Whiting will retire after nearly 30 years with the company, remaining in an advisory role during the transition period. Meanwhile, hundreds of economists have called for immediate policy responses to address the risks of artificial intelligence-driven job displacement and economic disruption. On the IPO front, Yorkville International Capital and Texas Ventures Acquisition 4 are both scheduled to list today on the Nasdaq, with last prices reported at $9.93 and $9.90 respectively.
Finally, in notable insider transactions, SharkNinja director Suning Wang sold over 2,668,000 shares at $150.36 per share, totaling more than $401 million, while United Microelectronics CFO Chi-Tung Liu sold 1,900,000 shares at $154.89 per share, totaling approximately $294 million. That wraps up today's market update. We'll be back soon with the latest market news. Thanks for listening to the Guru Focus Brief.